I wanna know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Pure energy.
All right, Las Vegas.
Pure energy.
Today is going to be an awesome night. We have wonderful people in the
Get it together. Hello, folks. This is Real Talk with Clever Minds. My cohort over here has got issues. I don't know. I was teasing her for I guess she just had a brain fart. We have a great show for you folks today. Our first half guest of the day, I'm gonna let Miss Please, not let Miss Please. Miss Please is gonna let us know who they are. And then the second part of it, we have some lovely guests, a lovely guest as well too.
We do. We have Roosevelt. Roosevelt, tell us about your show. I feel bad that I don't really know the name. Sorry.
Well, my name is Roosevelt Montpremier. God, it looks like we're gonna have a fun time tonight. I am the host of the show Help Your Life in Vegas, which is pretty much a show dedicated to helping people achieve change or improve anything in their lives.
Awesome. Thank you. And then we have Pete from San Francisco calling in today. I'm excited. He mentors a lot of gentlemen in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And since we're on the topic of domestic violence, and today we're going to talk about the men's side, and then we have Jennifer, who is observing and listening today. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, everybody.
Hello there, Miss Jennifer. And then at the latter part of the show,
Oh, yes, right. What?
at the latter part of the show this evening, we're going to have Assemblywoman Michelle Fiore. Said it right. Got to say it right. She's a District 4 Assembly person or woman. How would you say that?
I would say assembly person. She's beautiful, by the way.
And she was a guest on my previous show that I had, and I wanted to speak with her today about some of the things going on in the legislature. I mean, this past session, not too deep, and see what she's wanted, how she's dealing with everything, and how she likes it. And look very, very forward to having her on today. Interesting week. What do you think? How you doing? My neighbor's still off work. They didn't go back to work yet.
Really?
So they work for the government, so they still sitting around, But guess what? They're collecting a paycheck. So
I was going to say, they get paid at the end anyway.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I told them, you know what? You should have went ahead on vacation, but you never know when they will have to come back,
Back, yes.
So on that aspect of the way. How was your week, though? You have a very good week. You digging over in that big old suitcase for
my plug.
You should have dug in that suitcase.
Do we have a plug? This was an awesome weekend.
You went to someplace they didn't call me. I wasn't gonna call you. See how you
Well, you know what? I called.
You know what it was? Because me and you don't roll that way. So you probably
No. You know what? Honestly, you didn't come to mind. I was looking.
Kiss my opportunity.
I didn't think about him at all. I called Roosevelt.
Yes,
I called one of my best friends, and everybody stood me up.
My godmother forgot about me this past weekend. What am I figment here? You guys just forget all about Mr. Z. It's like, hey, you know what? I thought about you after the fact.
I got blew off. There's a gentleman that I was told that likes me at work, and I had even asked him, and he's like, no, I'm going to a Bon Jovi concert. And then he's like, you should have asked me. I was like, what did you think I was doing? I was standing there. I was asking you to go. So anyway, one of my girlfriends, your bicycle ringer.
Yeah.
So I asked one of my girlfriends to go with me, and I got to see Hitman Hearns, stood right next to him.
Tommy Hearns?
Tommy Hearns was there. He was outside.
How does it look? How does Mr. Hearns look?
He's got the little afro.
No, he has the afro.
He wore the long Steve Harvey. I think his suit was like a taupe color, and he stood behind these little rails and trash cans. But I got a picture with him, and
did you?
But he didn't say very much, which I thought was.
Cut it off for you. I learned something new. Leave me alone. She's getting into me, folks. New technology. I've got to learn these things.
But I wanted to talk about. Wait. So there was a fight. And what else was there? It was on pay-per-view, HBO pay-per-view. I got really good seats.
Do you know, I've heard something about the pay-per-view aspect now, is that, you remember the last fight, was it Mayweather?
Yes, Mayweather.
What are my co-workers?
He's actually coming on the air with us.
Okay, good. You can get the stuff for free on the internet now.
Oh, but I want to see it live. Now that I've seen the fight,
but listen,
I want to
you
see it live.
But also, okay, I got you. I went to a Mike Tyson fight once, got some free tickets. Tickets are like what, $1,500.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy sit around, look at each other, shook hands, talked, and did the something. Heard the ding ding, right? Turned back around, fight was over. I was pissed. Fight was literally. Remember back in the day?
I would be mad.
Remember back in the
Is
day?
that when he bit his ear?
No. Remember back in the day when Tyson was just knocking everybody out, getting to the. He was like, "I'm not gonna sit here and fight you that long. I'm gonna knock you. I'll get my money and go home with Robin Gibbons and beat her up for a little while." I didn't say that.
No, he did it. So real fast, I wanted to say I had also I just moved and it's taken me forever to move into this house. But yeah, and I had this wonderful customer service experience. I had the gas guy come out. And I spoke to his supervisor, Ernie, and the guy that came out was George. Of course, George was very, very handsome. But he got my service up, and I was very happy.
He got your service up?
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, that would be a man's aspect. I'm sorry. She got my service up.
Right. But then there was a problem with the water heater, and I called and had really bad service. And so then I spoke to the supervisor, which took me forever to get to this guy. His name was Ernie, and he actually just, smooth it over. So I was just I was excited because I was telling him customer service is bad in Vegas.
It's an understatement. You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you why it's bad. Because people like you want something for nothing, just want to fuss and bitch by every little single thing.
I didn't do either.
So now people are like, I don't care. You want to fuss? I don't care. Because you're gonna have to deal with us anyway. Because we are limited to what we have here in this valley. So you're gonna either be us or nobody at all. I'm serious. That's why that's why Cox is like that. Remember?
Yes, that's all right though. I don't need gas. I'll go light my trash can in the backyard.
I'm done with you. Here's a fire. Come on, Charlie. Roll Charlie around there.
And then, I also moved to this neighborhood, and this lady
had issues. You know what?
Yes. This lady was complaining. She's like, it's a public street, and you parked your car in front of my house.
Wow.
So Mix-a-Lot had a hoopty out there.
Right. Yeah, right? So the marshal had to come across the street and tell her, it's a public street.
Wow.
But she was so upset. And she's like, well, if your car gets towed away. And I'm like, chick, I'm one person. I can't drive all three cars.
Why not? You don't roll that way?
No, I'm gonna be like a TV show and run my car through her front window. I'm sorry, I take that back. If it happens, I'll be in trouble.
Your Honor, we have a tape for you to listen to. Real Talk with Clever Minds. Miss Please said she was going to drive the vehicle through a window. Hence, the vehicle through the window right now, Your Honor. We rest our case. And you plead guilty or no contest.
So my friend just texted me, hey, I didn't stand you up for the fight. You decided for me. If you're dating a girl and you say you want to spend time with this girl, you're getting alone time. Does that sound like, yeah, I want to go to the fight with you?
You shouldn't even have to advise. You better get your clothes on. You better, let's go. Rolling out in a couple minutes. I don't ask. I'm going to the fight. All my women do that. You go to the fight, baby? What time I got to be ready? That's all it is.
Right.
To it. So if you're going to,
He says I didn't give him a chance to answer. He was like,
slow.
Yeah.
Stutter.
So I still love him though, but he didn't make it. Yeah, he's laughing at me. Anyway, how was your weekend?
My weekend, believe it or not, I had a very slow week. Mm-hmm. I didn't do too much. I was going to go to see Babyface, but I didn't. And I was going to go see the Renaissance Festival. I didn't do that either. But because the Renaissance Festival was just recently at the Sunset Park. And my neighbor kid went, and they said it was very nice this year. Perhaps I'll go next. Yeah. They said it was very packed. A lot of people had to go from Del Sol High School to Shuttle Lynn. It was free shuttle, the Shuttle Lynn, as they come in from the, do all that stuff. The tickets were only $10 too this year.
Really? At the park?
Well, think about it. How many people? It's not a lot for us to do out here in the city. So I guess
That's true.
So when people want to go out, they say, you know what? If we charge these people $10, we make a whole lot of money.
That's right.
So they probably cleaned up the turkey legs for $11 though.
Oh, really?
The big old you ain't never had no big
turkey
old
legs.
Those smoked
like
turkey
caveman
legs.
clone.
They're the bomb. They were $11. I went there one year and they sold out. So
really?
Yeah, they sold out turkey legs. So the thing.
Wow.
Okay. You Lord. I ain't gonna tell you what she did, folks. He's over here. And Hardy ain't no turkey leg, folks.
It was not PG-13
at all. Who was
That
that?
was a hammer.
Basic instinct action going on here. Basic
Oh no,
instinct.
this is basic.
Don't we have serious topics we need to be talking
Yes,
about today?
yes,
And we do
yes.
have Michelle coming on later on. Okay, later on.
Yes.
And you were speaking about? You said
So today's topic is the domestic violence, and I know that we talked a lot about the women's perspective because we're usually the ones that are abused, but in actuality, there's always two
I
sides
told
to
you,
every
I
story.
was in it. I have domestic violence before. I think also too though in domestic violence, a lot of times it's overshadowed because a lot of women. I'm gonna just call it straight like it is. Do fake. They say things are happening and it's not really happening, and when it's severely, when the fact really happens on either side, it's not taken serious as it should be taken.
Right.
On the male perspective, I've had it happen in several of my relationships, and I remember once before when it happened to me with my child, and I went to the police department and said, "This is what's going on," and you know what they told me? If you press charges against her, we're going to take you too. And I had my kid in my hand with me at the time, and I had scars all over me, and I didn't do it at all, and I felt that very hurtful. It took me here in Vegas. I had to get someone charged with domestic violence. It took me a year to get it done because the police didn't believe me the first time, and she did it again.
Right.
And this time, one of the judges here said, "I know you did it," and they called her to task on it.
I think they're profiling, but what I have found over the last couple of weeks talking to people is men don't have an outlet to express. No, back then, you're older, so back then, and I'm not saying that to
Oh, I know what you mean.
but back then, the men would go to the barber shop. You could talk to your uncles, your dad. You had someone to talk to. Now there's
This girl
really
crazy. She smacked. She smacked me so hard, man. The grits fell out my mouth.
right. But now, what outlet do men have? Girlfriends have several. Guys, I'm sure will drink and just find some type of activity that would just keep their mind busy. But as far as the emotional aspect, like, I just need to talk to you because it's festering. This woman is in my face and she thinks that she's a dude. She thinks that she could just hit me and smack me around, and I'm at wit's end. What do I do?
Well, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I taught my son this. I taught my son this, and believe it or not, here's the thing about domestic violence, and I'm not advocating violence by any means. Okay, please listen to me. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay, this lady recently just killed her pimp. Did you hear about it on the news?
No.
It would happen on the news. Yes.
Wow.
And she said, but she went to jail. She stabbed him in the chest.
Ooh.
Okay, this happened this past weekend, I think it did. Okay, and like I taught my son, I said, you know what? Here's the thing. You can walk away only so much, but if someone's trying to physically hurt you, you better knock them the heck out, because here's the thing. You can't tell your story if you're dead.
If you're dead.
Right, but
I agree. 100%.
Pete, are you on the air with us?
Yes, I am.
Hi, how are you doing?
Welcome,
Pete?
Pete, to the show. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
But back to what my topic was, is also too, though. It's a such thing as restraint, and you totally walk away, take yourself out of the situation. I just did some move for a client, right? And he said this, his own words. The lady kept following him. He walked away. She threw bottles at him.
Wow.
When I got to the house, there was glass all over the place. The police didn't get called out or anything. They separated. But the point being is, some women will push the issue so far that they know that when the police officer gets there, they're gonna take somebody.
They're going to side with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, sometimes women will do the domestic violence things and think
They're getting arrested. I've seen a
Well,
lot of
I've seen
women
them-
say, "Hey, he did it," and they're like, "Well, there's no marks on you, but they're all over him."
Yeah.
And these women have gotten handcuffed.
Well, that's happened. But the thing that that I'm very discouraged about is that sometimes we as men are not believed. Do you believe? Is it Peter? Are you there, Peter?
Pete.
Yes,
Pete,
I am.
I'm sorry, Pete. Do you understand what I'm saying, or what is your opinion about this, sir?
Yes, I agree with what you were saying. I was raised by my father to not lay my hands on a woman, and I have been in situations, not exactly what you're saying, but close to it, and I've had to walk away. One of the things I find that that has worked for me. If I was getting into any kind of relationship with a woman, and there was any indication to me that we would not be able to discuss things, that they would, lead to a heated argument and stuff like this, I find that it worked for me was just kind of get out of that relationship, because the thought was that it was going to get to the point where one of us was going to be off the handle, and it was not going to be me, so I would be the one getting injured or hurt. And when you get into a confrontation with a woman and the police are involved, you usually have no win.
Yeah.
That you are the assumed perpetrator.
That's true.
Okay.
I was going to ask.
No.
Go ahead. Roosevelt, what is your take on this?
I think it's easier to walk away, and I don't think it's worth it to be in a relationship that is. And again, I think you have to go back in the beginning of the relationship, where it stems from. If we had a problem in the beginning, whether we couldn't agree on a specific subject or on a topic, it's if we know where it's going, why pursue it and turn it into violence? Because you know what's going.
Well, here I'm gonna call it like it is. A lot of people don't believe me when I tell you this. When you're in a relationship, in a man's perspective, women know how to push buttons.
Yes,
And
they
this guy,
do.
and this guy that I moved, that when I moved company, she kept pushing this guy's every single button. This guy was about 6 foot. I'm 6'3", and he was about maybe inch about 6'5", close to that aspect of the way. This woman pushed every button she could push. She threw stuff at him. She slapped on him. She did everything like that. Now, here's my thing. Here's my take on this. All right, we're only human. All right, how much does a person have to take
Can't take so much.
to the point where it's to you, and you fight back, and then all of a sudden you're guilty because this is where you live at.
Here's the thing,
Yes.
though. They teach you this in school. Don't start something with a man, because your body build is different. You're way stronger than me.
But he would never hit me.
You never.
Oh
right.
no, you'll probably hit me, and I'll probably hit back.
You probably hit back.
You see what it is? Yeah. Knock your ass. You said what?
I don't
3
go to
o'clock in the morning,
Go
and you
to
just
sleep.
now rolling up in here.
Right. Be like, go ahead and go to sleep. I'll get you when you sleep. It'll be even. But I just think that you guys are stronger than us. So why is it that and it's a little off topic, but why aren't men just restraining us and saying, look, I'm going to hold you until you stop?
I tried that before. I tried that before with a particular relationship that I had, and believe it or not, it got worse. Because when I was holding her to calm her down, she seemed to get more violent because I got control of the situation.
Because we don't like being
Right.
restrained.
You don't want to be restrained, right?
Because she got out of hand to the point I was like, baby, slow
It's
your roll.
okay.
You know,
Right.
I was holding because she was swinging, throwing stuff, doing like
Right.
that. I'm like, whoa. That's like it's not that serious.
Get in the car and drive off.
Okay, here's sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Here's what I found out also as well, too. Do you know if the man did not perpetrate anything at all, he does leave, a woman has the ability to do certain things for herself, and he's gone, now a warrant becomes out for his arrest.
I agree.
I've seen that in California.
I agree.
So-
But you know what, though? I don't think any relationship should be. I mean, if there's no harmony in any relationship,
That's
there
when you
should
walk.
be any relationship. Period.
Some people
did that.
thrive off of that.
Well, see,
That's
I
that
had-
energy.
remember my last one I had? I mean, we were speaking
Yeah.
about it was going down that
path?
That path.
Yeah.
And what I did, she was pushing certain buttons. So I caught myself, being an experienced man as I am, being through numerous relationships, I said to myself, this is not good, Mr. Z.
Right.
You need to just get out of the situation, find your loophole, and guess what the destiny of the universe did for me? They gave me a loophole
course.
and got me out of it.
Of course.
I did not lose any sleep when he was over with either because
Right.
it took me out of character.
course.
She's Michelle's on the phone. Thanks,
So,
sir.
Pete, I know you and I have spoke of outside the radio, and I love the topic and I love the subject when you had said that men just don't have an alley to vent or to say what's going on. They basically have to hold on to a lot of the things that they go through, which can be a derivative of the violence, because you can only, like these gentlemen are saying, you can only take so much, and then I'm just going to set fire to your butt because I'm tired.
Well, they don't let you have the firearms anymore if you're in domestic violence anymore. That stops a lot of different things. The case that was going on this week when the lady stabbed her so-called pimp. In the chest, and she got in trouble for it. It used to be in certain cities or states that you'll get abused so much, and then if a woman does fight back, she usually does get off. That's been the norm, and I'm sure you've seen that
Plead
before.
insanity or something.
No, not so much as insanity.
Yeah.
What's it? Abusive.
There's abusive something. There's a term for it.
Yeah, but I'm not familiar with it because I'm a layman in that aspect. But the thing about it is this, and I'm glad we have this topic today because the holidays are coming up.
Right.
It's a stressful time, and domestic violence is very, very prevalent here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's true.
And we should not take it lightly at all. And you bringing this to the forefront lets people know, and I'm glad you brought it up, is that men, women out there, if you are a part of domestic violence or
Right.
you see it, help people get counseling for it. Do you agree, Miss Please?
If they're willing to do it, yeah, I
reach
think
out.
that
The
first get out of the situation.
Anger management as well too. I think some of the anger management courses out here are a joke. I don't think
Yeah.
it does address some of the true issues of anger management.
I don't think they have a lot of good professionals in Vegas.
You know what I mean? Because anger management is not the same as it used
Not
to be.
insulting anybody in
No,
their profession, but
you know what I mean? Because back in the day, anger management used to be like, you got this problem. Now anger management is a whole different realm of issues that we have to inundate within ourselves. You got internet, you've got job issues, you've got mortgage issues,
Yeah.
you've got all these different issues when it comes to domestic violence as well too. And also too, sometimes domestic violence even stems from the point that I can't fight my employer, so I'll go after my significant other.
That's true.
I
They
see a
take it
lot
out
of
on
that.
someone else.
Yeah.
Does that make a lot?
That makes a lot of sense.
Since
Yep.
I don't want to get fired
Fired.
at work,
Right.
But I think the person I live with can probably handle me venting or
Or
going
you
off.
hurt
Right.
the closest people to you anyway, whether
Right.
you mean to physically. Peter, you there?
I'm still here.
What's your take on all this?
Well, my take is I agree with a number of the things that I've heard. The thing is that none of this stuff just suddenly comes out of the blue. There are indications that we're having trouble, we're having difficulty communicating in an acceptable manner, and I believe that if it's to the point where you cannot reason with a person in a reasonable setting, then you need to remove yourself from that situation, be it get out of the relationship. I normally say, well, I love a person, I love her,
That much.
but
You're
because
breaking
you
up.
love
We're losing you. You're breaking up a little bit.
okay, because you love someone, it does not mean that you can live with that person.
I agree.
True.
Oh, man.
I totally
Amen
agree.
to that.
I totally agree to that. I want to ask you a question, Miss, please. Within the circle of women that you associate with, do they find it acceptable to push a man's button? I'm just asking.
I don't think it's a matter of being acceptable to push a button. I think it's these women are finding that they have a voice, and as any woman or any man, when you've had enough or you get tired, you basically bite back. And a lot of men, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of men, and you guys are probably going to shoot the messenger, and I apologize. I'm going to apologize in advance to the listeners and to you
Oh,
gentlemen.
we got Michelle too. As well, so
right.
Yes, but I have always had this upbringing and feeling that men don't have feelings. I just think that you guys, yes, don't shoot me. And I was talking to Lawrence, our switchboard guy,
Engineer
and we
here.
agreed that, men just aren't behaving like men anymore. And so for us as women, that's like, not me, but just in general from the
just looking
circle,
at you, woman.
it's becoming a sign of weakness. You can't cry. You can't be heartfelt. You can't be anything other than a man. And I think that's why I've seen a lot of women geared towards that rough, tough, rugged, bad boy type guy. Because they want that what they think a man
Well,
is.
I totally agree. And back on the same topic, with the men aspect, this mayor recently he pled guilty for so many counts of harassment, and he held somebody against their will for almost like sexual harassment, and that's domestic violence in a way.
Yes, it is.
In a way, it is too, as well too. But here's the thing that what I really want people to understand as well too. If you really are in an abusive relationship, get out of it. Don't cry wolf, because life is too serious nowadays. We having people kill each other, going to school, doing this and doing all these different things. Society needs to get a hold of what we claim is a true epidemic, which domestic violence is. It's an epidemic, and if we don't teach our children, don't touch, don't push, don't bully. It's gonna progress and continually go on in society with this domestic violence aspect.
I agree.
Because Miss, please, you are a very educated woman, and they always say it's always the smart ones that tolerate that. Do you hear? No, that's
Ouch. You know, I will have to go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pete.
The statement you made about men, we are taught from a young age to shake things off, to kind of keep our feelings under control to ourselves. And that worked for a while, but in today's society, women, this thing of equality, women are doing the jobs that men have traditionally done. They're in
more power
position.
to them. Yes.
Power, yeah.
Men. And so there is, I believe, a confusion about the roles today. You have to let a man be a man and a woman be a woman.
But Mr. Z is pounding his chest like Tarzan. But you know what? You know what's funny is, Pete,
Michelle, we'll be right with you, dear.
I wanted to interject is that I was watching a TV show, a reality show called Real Atlanta with Vaughn, and he said that women want a man like their daddy, but women aren't half the women of their mothers. And that was
deep.
brutal. But you know what? I have to contest
Okay.
that a lot of women that I have spoken to in the last 3 weeks are not raised as women. They don't know how to carry themselves.
They don't even know how to cook.
They don't know how to be women. They don't know how to be ladies, because everybody is a woman, but not only certain people can be a lady.
I love a strong woman.
Yeah.
I love a strong who can pack a gun, who can shoot a gun. I love a woman who can be submissive. I love a woman who can swing a baseball bat. But I also love a woman that I never going to say knows her place. A lot of biblical things says that a woman should be submissive in some aspect. I don't like a woman that's totally submissive. I like the woman has to be my equal. But the thing about it also as well too, I do like a woman that will let a man be a man.
But and I'm just saying,
Right.
if you don't know how to let a man be a man, you run into problems. And now the reason I say this is because when I've been married 3 times, and the first 2 times, I wore his balls for earrings because I didn't know how.
Suck.
I did.
Why you
Because
castrate that man like that?
Because I wore
I wore his balls for earrings.
But I'm not proud to say that. I'm just showing that I have faults, and that I did not know how to let a man be a man. And I've learned in the last relationship. He's a Spanish guy, and he basically had to learn that, okay, I need to be submissive. I need to understand that I can't always swing the hammer to the nail in the wall. I have to let you do it. I can't always
It's a
say.
cultural thing as well too, I do believe.
Yeah, but go ahead, Pete.
People look at this sometimes, men and women, like an adversarial relationship, and that's not what it should be. It should be a union, 2 people coming together and acting as one, not me against her or her against me. And I think some of that comes from the fact that we have males, and I use that term advisedly, not men. We have males who have been raised primarily by women, and I'm not saying it's their fault, but a woman cannot teach a man to be a boy to be a man, and a man can't teach a girl to be a woman.
That's true.
So we have lots of one parent relationships, and a lot of the kids do well in this situation, but a lot of them are lacking some of the essential things they need to know to be a man or to be a woman. And I think that also enters into this problems we're having today.
And that's so true. Pete, what we're going to do is, because we ran out of time, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Please stay on and join us for the second half of the show. Roosevelt also, and Jennifer, just stay on and join us for the second half of the show.
We have a lovely guest, not the guest in the show, or not even lovely, but we have
Look, I'm grown and sexy.
Mr. Z, should I stay or should I not stay?
I've been trying to get this lovely woman on. She was on my show a few years back, and she got into the assembly this past election. It's Michelle. How are you doing today, my lady?
I'm great. How are you guys doing? Very interesting
Hi, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to tell you, very exciting listening to you guys. You guys have way too much fun over there.
Michelle, before we get started, I have a question. Mr. Z showed me your profile on the internet, and I love the picture, but I have to ask, girl, is that a gun and a clip?
That's a big gun. I have a lot of guns. I have a lot of firearms, and I've been shooting since I'm 9. I'm a grandmother of 4 today. And so usually wherever I go, there's a gun in my pants.
So you always get the right guy, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
You know?
Michelle, tell our lovely audience who you are and what you do for the state of Nevada and the Las Vegas Valley, please.
Okay, I am Assemblywoman Michelle Fiore from District 4, which is out here in the Northwest Valley near Centennial Hills. It's like Lone Mountain and Decatur to Cheyenne and 215th and 95 and Kyle Canyon Road. So it's way out here in the Northwest. And I have a fabulous constituency here. And it's quite diverse because it's literally split in half Republican, half Democrat. I'm a Republican woman, and my mom is a Democrat woman. And so my mom, when she talks to people, she goes, "Oh, my daughter, she's a Democrat by DNA." And I say, "Mom, you got to stop saying that, you know." But she heads up Democrats for Fiore, and I'm a Republican woman out here, and so we really get along because I'm a person of the people, not so much the parties. This past session, I proved that with my voting record. There was quite a few bills that I had voted against my own party along with, because the bill was right. It wasn't about parties. It was more about what the people had voted on. And every time we did a poll and the people said vote this way, that's the way I voted. So I literally am a voice for the people. I'm not a fan of being a voice for party politics.
I'm glad you would. So you would, and if you were up in Washington right now, you wouldn't be dealing with all that BS, would you? Then,
you know, with Washington, I have to tell you, they've got a tough. They're in a tough place right now, and this is why. You know, I don't want to say that they're playing party politics, but they're playing party politics, and they need to come together for the people, because right now, if we don't come up with a solution on both sides, it's going to hurt. So, like the business industry implementing certain portions of the CARE Act will eliminate positions. So we're looking at a mass layoff. So there's a lot of things that have to happen, and we have to come to agreement on. And at the same time, the federal shutdown, like with our parks and with other positions, that's becoming an issue too. I'm not the type of person, I don't even want to say legislature, that would really abide or obey certain rules, like when they shut the parks down. I mean, if I was an avid hiker at Red Rock, I would be hiking at Red Rock. And if they let me
You'd be up there, huh?
Yeah, I'd be up there. So, and we're talking about that. I mean, I think as a state we need to step in and say, I'm sorry, Washington, but, we're over 18 and we can make our own decisions and we need to open our own state parks. As an elected official, I personally am looking into that because I don't see the issue or the problem with opening our state parks and placing a sign that says, at your own risk, you're entering the park.
If you fall, you fall.
We don't have the rangers, on board to, tell you not to drink or tell you, not to drown or tell you not to fall off a cliff. But at your own risk, hike and be careful. I mean, what did we do before we hired?
Thank you.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so,
I do.
And I'm not a fan, just so you know, I'm not a fan of the federal government owning 90% of Nevada land.
Michelle,
so I'm not a fan of that at all.
Michelle, give us 1 second. For those that are just tuning in, you're listening to KLAV 1230 AM on the AM dial. If you'd like to comment or pose a question to any of our guests on the air and in the studio, please give us a call for those that are local, 702-731-1230. And if you're out of the area, we'd love to hear from you also.
Call us on the internet. I'm just teasing. No, give us a call at 866-820-5528. This is Real Talk with Clever Minds. I am Mr. Z, and the lovely lady over to my right is
Miss Please.
And we have lovely guests in the audience. We have Miss Michelle on. Michelle, I want to ask you a question. When you ran, I ran at the same time you were running for Assembly District 22 when I was running. But
you were great, and you know what? We never went to church together that we talked about.
Yeah,
so
yes, yeah. Was that a very hard campaign financially when you did it the second time around? Because
it was difficult.
It was very difficult. Now, when you are now in the assembly, can you tell people exactly what an assembly person does so that
carry guns and look hot on the internet? Right? I want that job, Michelle. I need that job.
Are they hiring?
Oh my God!
Can I be your sidekick?
You are so adorable. That's cute. It's funny because I carry my gun in my chambers. I carry my gun all through that Capitol building too. So
wow.
So people know that usually when they hug me, they're always putting their hand on the bottom of my back, and I'm like, hey. And I know they're just trying to steal the steel. Like, calm down.
Oh, she's got jokes today.
I love it.
But let's go back to the layman aspect what an assembly person is, so those who really don't know, because a lot of people in this state or in the country don't utilize their votes, don't know what they're voting for or anything like that. So
Can we ask first before you go into depth, is it easy to run for, and what is required to become an assembly person?
It depends on the district. I mean, I'm actually giving a speech on 3 keys to success, and I have to tell you, it's not easy, but I'm going to tell you that successful people do what successful people won't. So if it was easy, everybody would do it. So you literally have to have the heart and the spirit and the guts to run, to persevere, to door knock, to ask for help, to ask for your vote. And it takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, and it takes a lot of dollars in particular districts to get the message out. When you have large districts as Assembly District 4, when there's 42,000 registered voters and 200,000 people, and you're trying to all, I want you to think of 20,000 doors, okay, in 11 months, to divide that up, and I personally knocked 20,000 doors. My team total knocked 100,000 doors because I had 4 other walkers, and you got to think, for every 20 doors you knock, you'll talk to one person, and you're leaving information behind on the other 19 doors saying, sorry, I missed you. Please call my cell. I'll come back. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And with my district, I have pasta parties at my home all the time, so my doors are open to my constituents. So that's just so they can come, they can meet me, we break bread together, and they know that I'm their voice. So whatever problem that they're having, whether it's something that I can resolve as an elected official or not, I will hold their hand and help them resolve it, whether we have to call a city councilman or a county commissioner or whatever the issue is. But
So is this your
I will help.
full-time job then? This is your full-time day job. This is all you do.
No, I wish it was, because it is a full-time job. So I have about 3 full-time jobs. But, as a woman,
Me got many
we
jobs,
wear many
man.
hats.
We are
Yeah.
superwoman.
Yeah. So I take care of the elderly and disabled in their home. I have a home health care agency, and I have about 57 employees, and these are people that work with me, not for me.
I love
That's
it.
what all the people that work together, we work together as a team. And then I have my assembly, and then my 2 kids who are grown and out of the house and in college and run my companies they've blessed me so far with 4 grandkids. And, that's another, so my whole calendar and agenda is literally scheduled out. Okay, tonight I get Jake, tomorrow night I get the twins, Sunday night's family dinner, Monday I'm at the office, then I'm door knocking, then I'm having meetings, and then tonight I'm on the show with you guys. So everything is on a schedule, and you have to be disciplined to make sure you cover all your bases.
And congratulations, by the way. I heard you say you had a new grand, and I am a grandmother, so it's exciting.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it really is. Being a grandmother, I gotta tell you, it's more fun than being a mom. I mean, I would never choose motherhood in the world.
Yes, they
but
should have came first.
I get to give those kids back, and it's just great.
We can't give them back. They don't fit where they came from. So.
Right.
Now, tell me this, Michelle. Okay, in the political ring here in Nevada, I found that it is very, very treacherous waters to tread. Do you feel you've touched on some toes the wrong way, or are you afraid to touch on toes the wrong way, or do you?
Oh, no way! Let me tell you
Whoa.
something. Excuse
me.
I step on toes every single day, and they can like it or they don't, and including my own. And I start with my own first, because there's heated, and I'm talking heated debates in my caucus. I mean, there's 14 other peers, so there's 15 Republican Assembly caucus members, and there's 2 women. There's me, and then we have Assemblywoman Woodbury, who is sweet as pie, quiet, sweet, she's not going to really hurt ya. But then there's 13 old white guys. So.
Okay, yeah, call it like it is. 13 old white guys.
Yeah, so that's, comes into sometimes, as a strong female, having a big opinion, there are some of my peers' toes that I step on. And, I do it publicly as well as privately. And what I say, I mean, and I'm not going to say something to someone that I wouldn't say to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
I think stepping on toes is how you get things going. I think if you didn't step on toes or ruffle feathers, you would just be you'd be dormant, and
you wouldn't go anywhere.
people would just look at you as it's a lady with a gun. But if you step on toes, but if you, hey, I love guns, by the way. But my point is that as a woman, we always sit back in the back of the audience and kind of just watch things go by, knowing that we have great thoughts, we have input, we have advice, we have fantastic ideas, we're creative, we're innovative, we're intelligent. And if I don't ruffle feathers or step on somebody's toes to let them know, hey, I'm present.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I don't think I even have to say that.
I hear you. Michelle,
it's
what would...
kind of like, oh, gosh, here she comes.
I got you. Now, when you stepped into this arena, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want it from your heart, please. Okay. What did you really want to accomplish, and did you accomplish it so far? And when you do get out of this public arena, what do you want to have leave as your legacy, please?
Absolutely. That's a fabulous question, and I love it. And, yeah, so I got into, if we would have talked 10 years ago and you wanted to have a political conversation, I would have said, no, can't we talk about something fun? The only reason I got into politics was because as a businesswoman and as an owner here in the state of Nevada of a couple of companies, the overregulation and the overtaxation was hitting me, my pocketbook, my companies, and I thought to myself, who in the heck are making these rules? So then when I started looking at the bills that were being passed that were influencing as I, signed the front of the checks, not the back of the checks, and I started seeing these people that were voting on these things to constantly increase over-regulation and they'll fee you to death with, tripling the business licensing and tripling this fee and all these fees. It's taxation, however you want to slice or dice it. When you're writing a check and taking your money out of your pocket, that's more taxes. So I looked at who was making these decisions, and I thought, I think I could do a better job because these people, haven't hired over 2,000 people like I have, and they haven't made these decisions, and I think we need more business-friendly people up there. So I got involved because of frustration drives me and anger motivates me. And so my frustration was making sure that we started getting more business-friendly in the state of Nevada and stopping taxes and stopping this. So this was my first time to actually prove myself besides just saying words and having, chaotic rhetoric.
Got respect.
So the Nevada Policy Research Institute has put out a report card on the 63. They call us the Gang of 63 up there in Carson City because there's 42 assemblymen and women and 21 state senators. And out of the Gang of 63 on the report card, me, your Assemblywoman, Michelle Fiore, is number one because I stood up. I voted no for many things. I voted yes for things that people said vote no for. And I did these things because of the people. And I think if more legislators would just legislate for the people, not special interests, not for their parties, not because their lobbyist is their friend and, that's their job and they need the vote, I think you'd have a lot more legislators at the top than number 2, 3, 4, and down the line.
So what do you want to leave for your legacy, please?
My legacy is to teach people to stand up because the legislature is literally a legislature of citizens. That's all. So to teach people to stand up and do the right thing, even if it's unpopular, which, half of the people will say, oh, gosh, I love her. And then the other half will say, oh, she is a troublemaker.
Hey, you're a troublemaker. That means you're doing your job.
Now, do you really have a lot of power as a assembly person?
No,
She's
the
a
people
voice.
have the power. I'm literally just the voice of the people. So the power I have is basically entrusted by the people. So, Michelle Fiore, don't have the power. The people of Assembly District 4 have the power because they reflect my vote.
Okay. Well, Michelle, I'm gonna wrap this up because we want to end a lot of things. But I brought you on the show today for one particular reason. The chaotic mess that's going on in government today, but you seem like you really have your head on straight. What would you like to tell the people out here in Las Vegas, Nevada about yourself and any other things you'd like to let us know about real quick, please?
I'm always available, so you can look me up online, which is at votefiore.com, and you guys have looked that up. I'm always available. You can email me, whether you're in my district or not. Trust me, I have adopted constituents in Reno. So I'm always available because I answer the phone.
I know you do. You do answer. You answer for me, but you're doing good. I appreciate it.
So whatever they need, I'm here for them, and that's what I want to really make sure the people understand is, as an elected official, I truly am here for you.
Well, I really, truly appreciate you coming on. We'd like to have you on again sometime really soon, especially when all this debacle and mess is over with as well, too. I want to have one comment from you, please, about domestic violence. What do you think about that as we go?
I've been involved with. I don't want to say so much a victim of domestic violence, but I've had to put a restraining order on a past relationship, and it is not a joke. And women, I'm going to say this, and this might sound kind of strong, but you have a choice. You're either a victim or a volunteer. So the first time you're a victim, and you go and you report it, and you call the police, and you ask for help, okay, and you get out. If you continually do not help yourself and do not, take that hand up from people that want to help you and get you out of the situation, then how can we protect you if you keep volunteering for this abuse?
Ooh,
I like that.
like
That's
that.
strong and powerful.
Well, thank you for being a guest on our show today, and we'll love having you, and I really appreciate it, and hopefully you can come to be with us again. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you have a blessed evening.
I love that. You know, I had made some notes before the show. I'm always writing and sticking them somewhere. And I had wrote missing pillars are elements that most people have as an outlet to express their stresses in life. Men don't have that. You guys have missing pillars, the foundation of
I
holding
ain't
things
got
up.
no missing pillars.
Ah.
I'm Zeus. I got pillars all through my kingdom.
And I think, Peter, you still there?
Yes.
And I also think that men, you guys walk the edge. You go through life without anyone to vent to. My third husband taught me that. You know, you just go through life, and some men are lucky, like you're saying, you have someone to talk to, but a lot of men really don't. You know, when you have marital problems or relationship problems, who do men really have to talk to? That's not going to be malicious or callous.
You get your boys.
You got your boy, but
I know some boys don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because some boys think you whining. Okay, they do. Some people think you whining. Here's the thing: when we spoke about it, it's cultural. Now let's talk about this cultural aspect. Hispanic, whites, blacks, Irish, Ethiopian, Iranians, everybody's they handle domestic violence in a different way.
Right.
In a different realm. When I was out here and I had to go to domestic violence court, the judges have to be trained in order to handle different cultures when it comes to domestic violence. Because sometimes domestic violence is not the same mindset as it might be in
somebody in Ethiopia.
In American mindset.
Yep, right.
So there's an old funny saying. Remember Eddie Murphy had a girlfriend whose name Fufu? She was on a zebra butt naked until she started hanging out with all her girlfriends. Eddie! I want to be. See? So I know I digress. Eddie! But what I'm saying is once people get Americanized and they figure out the cultural aspect of what our society is about when it comes to domestic violence, it comes in all forms and fashion. It comes from
Physical, emotional.
even financial.
Even financial.
Yo, I've seen the Hispanic culture controls the money, and the women have to basically. And I have a problem with this. And I don't mean to be like
you got more problems.
No, I have a problem with the topic, but the financial part. Because we were in the store one day, and I remember telling my ex-husband, I said, the lady, why isn't the lady talking or shopping for herself? You can't even go get personal feminine products without your man
that's
saying.
Too serious. Yeah.
That's old.
That's the old Hispanic. Some Hispanic cultures. You know, the man, he makes the money, he controls the money.
Right.
Is this because he doesn't want you to take his money and leave him, or is it just a cultural thing? What is the underlining
issues?
I think it's just it's a lack of trust. Really, if you trust the other person, and if we both work and make enough money, then why should one control the other? I mean, people shouldn't be controlling somebody else. Period.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But why does it happen? What stems from this? Especially, I want to know from the men's side, because we know the women's side. There's many variables. Yeah. When I was watching that show, Real Atlanta, Vaughn and his buddies had a powwow at the bar, and they had talked about you don't get one woman, you get many. You tell her up front how it is, and that she either has to deal with it or she doesn't. And this other guy was like, well, my daddy cheated, my uncle cheated, my grandpa cheated,
and
so
I'm
a
cheat.
cheat. Yeah.
Well, it's passed down generational wise. We only have a couple minutes to go out.
Sorry.
No, it's passed down generational wise. Miss, please, what do you think men should do from one perspective? If you think if we're a strong man, how would you want a strong man to handle something like that? I mean, just on a personal aspect.
What a man should do?
Yes, please.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I take that back. Peter, you there? I take that back. No, I take that back for all of our listeners. It's a serious subject. Huh?
You asked where some of this stuff comes from. If you look around the world today, if you look, for instance, in the Middle East, women don't have
We're about to lose you, Pete. I apologize about that, sir. Miss, please.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You hear the
hear
music coming on.
Folks, this was an interesting topic. We're going to bring it back again. Miss, please.
Don't beat your woman.
Brought this to the forefront. Thank you very, very much for listening to us this evening. And Michelle, thank you as well. And our guest, in-studio guest.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Roosevelt, Pete, Jennifer.
Thank you very much
for joining us.
Sure.
This has been Real Talk with Clever Minds. And this is Miss Please over here. And I am Mr. Z. She's so beautiful, folks. You ought to see her.
Be inspired, everybody. Find your voice.
Oh, there you go again with some knowledge. Love you.
Love
Peace.
you.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.